What if the strongest person in The Lord of the Rings was not the one who carried the ring, but the one who carried the person carrying it? Most stories teach us to look for strength in kings, wizards, and warriors. But Tolkien hides one of his deepest pictures of strength in a gardener from the Shire. Samwise Gamgee's virtue is steadfast loyalty. Not loyalty as a mood, not loyalty as smiling devotion when the person you love is easy to love. Loyalty when leaving would be easier. Loyalty when the road gets darker. Loyalty when the person you are helping becomes tired, suspicious, and hard to reach. Sam proves that virtue is not what you feel when things are easy. Virtue is what you keep doing when love becomes exhausting. Tolkien makes Sam ordinary on purpose. He has no throne waiting for him, no ancient bloodline, no prophecy, no secret royal name. He is a gardener. His hands know soil, meals, and the quiet rhythms of home. In almost any other story, Sam would stay in the background. That is why he matters. Sam's virtue begins in a garden and walks all the way to Mordor. At first, loyalty looks simple. Gandalf tells Sam not to leave Frodo, and Sam accepts before he understands the cost. But no promise is proven while the road still has grass under it. So Sam leaves the Shire, his father, Rosie, the food, the fields, and the small beloved life he understands. Frodo has the ring. Sam has only a promise. And that is the first test. Loyalty begins before the quest feels heroic. It begins when you tie your life to someone else's burden before you know how heavy that burden will become. Then the fellowship breaks. Frodo tries to go to Mordor alone. The ring isolates. It tells the person carrying it that love is dangerous, friendship is weakness, and leaving everyone behind is mercy. Frodo thinks going alone will protect the people he loves. Sam refuses. He cannot swim, but he runs into the water anyway. He starts sinking rather than let Frodo sail toward Mordor without him. That is Sam in one image. Loyalty with no strategy except, I am coming too. It is frightened, wet, and almost foolish. But without it, the story ends before Mordor, because Frodo can carry the ring, but he cannot carry the loneliness of the ring by himself. And this is where Sam becomes psychologically powerful. He is not just a companion, he is the part of love that stays when suffering no longer looks noble. Frodo gets weaker. The ring thins him out. His patience narrows and his trust frays. There are moments when Sam cannot reach him with advice, courage, or anger. He can only keep walking beside him. That is a different kind of strength than fighting. Fighting asks for intensity. Loyalty asks for endurance. Anyone can have a brave minute. Sam has brave months. But Sam is not perfect. Tolkien does not make loyalty sentimental. Gollum tests Sam because Gollum forces him to choose between protection and pity. Sam is often right to be suspicious. Gollum lies, schemes, and wants the ring. But Sam's loyalty also makes him harsh. He sees the threat so clearly that he sometimes cannot see the wounded person inside the threat. Frodo can still pity Gollum in a way Sam struggles to. That matters, because loyalty can become possessive if it forgets humility. Tolkien lets us see both truths. Sam's suspicion saves Frodo, and Sam's lack of mercy costs something too. Virtue is not a clean personality trait. It is a direction you keep choosing while you are still learning. Then Shelob comes. For a moment, Sam believes Frodo is gone, not tired, not difficult, not misled. Gone. And this is where many loyal people break. When there is no response anymore, loyalty has to decide whether it was love or only reward. Sam fights Shelob. A gardener from the Shire stands over Frodo's body against an ancient horror from the dark. He does not become fearless. He becomes faithful. And when he thinks Frodo is dead, he does the most painful version of loyalty. He takes the ring. Not because he wants it, because the mission still has to continue. Sam does not take the burden to become important. Love has made him responsible. For one terrifying stretch, the smallest person in the story holds the most dangerous object in the world. And the book gives Sam a temptation the films only hint at. The ring does not offer him a throne in the ordinary way. It offers him a world remade by his own hands, armies obeying him, Mordor itself blooming into a garden. The temptation speaks Sam's language. Not gold, not empire, a garden. The ring takes your goodness and inflates it until it becomes pride. Sam wants things to grow. The ring says, then make everything grow under your command. And Sam refuses. Not because he is too simple to imagine power, because he knows the size of his own soul. He knows he is a hobbit, and a garden made by domination would not be a garden anymore. That is humility inside loyalty. He does not need to be savior of the world. He needs to be Sam. Then he hears Frodo is alive, and the grand temptation collapses into one fact. His friend needs him. Sam storms the Tower of Cirith Ungol, not like a warrior from legends, like someone who has no permission to quit. The orcs destroy themselves through suspicion and greed, but Sam still has to climb, search, risk, and call out until Frodo hears him. Because Sam's loyalty is not only muscle, it is memory. It reminds Frodo there is still a world outside the ring, songs, gardens, food, home, and someone saying his name like he is still himself. By the time they reach Mordor, Sam is no longer helping Frodo on the quest. He is helping Frodo remain a person. Mordor strips everything away. There is no Shire light, no fellowship, no applause, and no clear plan for getting home. There is ash, thirst, fear, and the weight of the ring growing heavier as they near the fire. Frodo cannot go on, and Sam finally says the line that reveals his whole virtue, "I can't carry it for you, but I can carry you." That is the theology of Samwise Gamgee in one sentence. He cannot take Frodo's burden, suffer Frodo's temptation for him, or make Frodo whole by force. Real loyalty knows this. You cannot live someone else's life. You cannot heal someone by controlling them. You cannot carry what only they can surrender. But you can carry them. You can become the strength beneath their weakness. You can move one more step when they cannot. That is why Sam is so beloved. He shows the kind of love every exhausted person secretly hopes exists. Not dramatic love, but durable love. And still, Tolkien does not let Sam become the hidden hero who replaces Frodo. Sam carries him up the mountain, but Frodo still fails at the edge. The ring is not destroyed because Sam is loyal enough to make everything clean. It is destroyed because mercy, weakness, providence, and pity meet in a place no one could control. Sam's loyalty does not make the story neat. It makes the ending possible. That is an important difference. Sometimes virtue does not guarantee the outcome. Sometimes it keeps the road open long enough for grace to arrive. And then Sam returns home. This might be the most underrated part of his story. After Mordor, Sam does not become addicted to being needed in a crisis. He does not stay forever on the mountain inside his own mind. He goes back to the Shire. He marries Rosie. He plants, repairs, rebuilds, and helps life grow again. In the book, this matters even more after the scouring of the Shire. Sam's virtue is not only sacrifice in darkness, it is restoration in daylight. He can carry Frodo up Mount Doom, and he can plant a tree. He can face a monster, and he can build a home. That is not a smaller ending. That is the point. Virtue is not proved only in the grand crisis. It also has to survive ordinary life after the crisis is over. Sam teaches us that loyalty is not codependence. It is not pretending evil is safe or pain is easy. Loyalty is love with endurance. It protects without needing control. It stays without needing applause. It carries without stealing the other person's burden. And when the dark road ends, it turns back toward life. So maybe the strongest person in the Lord of the Rings was not the one who carried the ring. Maybe it was the one who kept choosing step after step. If you have to walk through darkness, you will not walk alone. Samwise Gamgee was the one who stayed, and sometimes staying is the strongest thing love can do.